All right, welcome back to Colorado Dwarf Cars Chassis Setup Seminar. As you can see, we've done some work here to get the car ready to be scaled. I suggest you scale a car every weekend before you race. I know it's a lot of work, but as I mentioned earlier, that things can get out of whack even if you're not in a wreck. Things can get out of whack and out of adjustment. So scaling is to measure what our weight percentage is on the four cars. And this is a ProForm wireless setup that Front Range Systems Integration Specialist donated to Colorado Dwarf Cars. Thank you, Ray Lauder. And it's a beautiful setup. It's less than $1,000. And what we do is we got all the pads turned on and we want to zero them out. And I don't know why they call it tar. I would have thought they'd call it zero, but we'll hit that and that will put everything at zero. And now we're ready to lower the car onto that. So if John, you could grab the front thing, we'll lower slowly. Roll back a little bit, push forward. And you want to make sure everything's on the pad square. The right front looks good, the right rear looks good, left front looks good. The left rear needs to come back a little bit. So I'm going to jack up the back and get the left rear scale pad square. There we go. All right. Stay. Okay, the important thing, the only important measurement before we do anything is the total weight of the car, which would be adding up the four corners. Because the rule is, after you come off the main event, you got to be at least 1,000 pounds. And we've got our four corner weights. And I actually think this is, we must be low on battery. L-BAT must be why that's not lower. So let's pretend that is actually showing a corner weight. So we tell us, my car's weighing 1,043, which is about right. With a full gas tank, I'm at 1,043. I'm not going to lose 43 pounds of gasoline during the race, so I know I will be legal. I'll also pick up some mud during the race as for some weight. So I'm good with 1,042. I will not be illegal from a weight standpoint after the main event. Now, we want to do the scaling part, and that is where the driver is going to get into the car. And what I like to do is draw an X here. I'll put the car number so I know what car, what date. It's actually the 30th. And a cross and a plus sign, which I'll put the left corner weight here, right corner weight here, left corner weight here. I'll put an L for left side, a T for tail for the rear weight, cross weight, really important. I'll do total, and then bite. Bite is the difference between left rear minus right rear, and we want to be in between 20 and 40 pounds. So now the driver gets into the car. Pad paper. All right, welcome back. We're going to continue with our scaling, and I've got my sheet already. I'm going to ask, okay, we want to write down 276 left front, 272 right front, 403, 338. Left side, I would add up the 21.4 and the 31.4. That's going to be 52.8. That's a good, that's about as high as you're going to get on the left side weight. Not much adjustment you can do there. Tail is the 26.3 and the 26.2 plus 31.4 is 57.7. 57.7, that's great. Weight percentage in the rear. Cross weight, really important, is at 50, I add the 31.4 into 21, that's 52.3. And I'll talk to that in a second. My total weight is 1292, that's fine. My bite is the difference between the left rear and the right rear. That's going to be 61 plus 5 is 66. I like that. Okay, Danny, you can lay that down, and I'll talk to these numbers a little bit. For a heat race, I like to start at 50% cross weight. And then I know that if I do an adjustment on my coilovers, which when I get out of the car I'll show you what that is, I like to get up to 52, 53% for the main event. You want a tighter car. More cross weight, higher percentage is a tighter car, so that when the track goes away, I'm not looser, I'm tighter, and won't be spinning out or feeling the spin out. So that 52 is a great main event target for my cross weight. Rear weight 57.7, that's really good right there, anywhere from 55 to 58. Left side, there's really much not you can do there. 51 to 52 is good. My total weight, we don't have a rule on total weight, but we do have a rule with 1,000 pounds without the driver after the main event, but we already talked about that. And bite, pro recommend is 40 to 60 pounds of bite. I've got 66. I'm out of spec, but I actually like a little bit more bite there, more weight on that left rear than the spec calls for. So I really, really like this main event setup right here. I wouldn't adjust anything. So I'm going to get out of the car and talk to you a little bit about the coilover adjustment. Did I mention that these cars are like shoes that are half size too small and it's not? I'm 6'4", 240 pounds, and I can get in and out no problem. So don't worry about being too big for these cars. Okay, I'm not going to adjust any of my corners because I really like my corner weights, but if I wanted to, the adjustments would be on this coilover kit here. This nut here rotates and either compresses the spring to put weight on this corner or back this nut off to take weight off the corner. So let's pretend I was at 50%. I go out and run my heat race, and now I know the track's going to go away, lose grip, it's going to be dry slick. I want to tighten the car up. My favorite adjustment is cross weight. And what that is I'm going to go to this side of the car and turn this nut in 2 times, round, 2 times to compress that spring, put weight on that corner. 2 turns in compression on this corner, left rear. Those are your crossweight corners. This corner and that corner. Compress those 2 turns, but also, most importantly, if I took 2 turns in on those corners, take 2 turns out on the left front and right rear, 2 turns. Because if you don't do the same, then you will change your ride heights. This will put more crossweight in your car without messing up your ride heights. If I only did these 2 corners, then my ride heights would be off. So 2 turns in on your crossweight corners, 2 turns out on the other corners, and your ride heights will stay the same. And 2 turns is roughly 2 to 2.5% change in crossweight on a pro chassis. So that's why I don't have to get my scales out before the main event at the track and try to figure out how much crossweight I'm now at. I just know through practice in the shop that 2 turns is roughly 2.5%. So I'm locked and loaded, I'm ready to go to the racetrack. And this is going to complete our chassis setup seminar. Hopefully this helps you. It's helped me over the years, and I've learned things, and I can't say that I know everything. I certainly don't. There's more things you probably could do with setup, but this is what I do. It seems to work well, and it covers pretty much 90% of what you would need to know. in terms of setups. So again, thank you for spending time listening to this, and Colorado Dwarf Cars again welcomes you to come out and visit us at the racetrack or at our practice facility. You can see us at coloradodwarfcars.org on the web, and also on Facebook, Colorado Dwarf Cars. So again, thank you, and have a great day. Bye.